What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time joining, if you're returning, thank you for coming back. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight off into it. I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible to understand. I know a lot of times when dealing with the law is a lot of things that could be extremely complex, but I'm gonna break it down in layman's terms, and hopefully you grasp the concept of all this and you will be very, very surprised. And also too, I'm just letting you know that you are capable of doing this too. In most instances, you may not need to have an attorney, and it will save you a whole lot of time and frustration in doing so. At least if you do hire an attorney, I encourage you to shop around and do your due diligence and do your research. Don't just take your attorney's word for it. Don't just completely rely on them. Go over the paperwork and stuff like that, the motions that they file, this, that, and third, because they will go behind your back and do some stuff and you will be looking crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and jump off into it. Okay, so we're gonna go to this whole city of Lovejoy thing. Right now, their case is currently pending in federal court. The plaintiff filed a counterclaim motion along with the motion to remand the case back to the state level after amending the complaint, pretty much taking out all the federal law in it whatsoever. And now we're at this point, responding back to the defense with a counterclaim, pretty much stating reasons why the case should be remanded back to state court. Now, you see the date. If the judge rules in favor of the plaintiff and this case gets remanded back to state court, there is no defense that the city of Lovejoy will have to defend these officers and their conduct. If you want to watch the full video, it would be down in the link in the description box below. All right, so moving right along. Now, previously, the city of Hampton, there was a suit filed on them on this date, and that was one on Lovejoy. Now recently, one was filed on the county, right? So this is where we're at with this. There's going to be another one on the state, so that's going to be a total of 4 lawsuits at one time. Okay, so let me just wrap your mind around that. 4 lawsuits at one time. Do you not think that the city, 2 cities, the county and the state, is coming, right? You don't think they'll all get together and try to sabotage the plaintiff in some type of way and pay off friends, family members, stuff like that? All right, so now let's go down to the legal aspect of it and break this down. Whenever you're filing a lawsuit on any type of city, right, first thing you have to do, right, for service of city officials, right, you have to do it within 6 months, right? And this is very important. Anti-liability notice is very, very important. If you file a claim against anybody, you will get the case dismissed if you do not do it. And it says it right here: no person, firm, or corporation having a claim of money damages against a municipal corporation on the account of personal injuries property shall bring any action against municipal corporations such for injuries without first giving them notice provided in the section. Now, which is so crazy is that I respect the city of Lovejoy. The city of Lovejoy, the mayor of Lovejoy, responded back right away, right? So let's go back to this. And it has to be made within 6 months. I have to put emphasis on that. So don't wait forever. On the cities, they have a real short period of time where you can file a lawsuit on them. So you got to jump on that like ASAP, right? Upon presentation of the claim, the authority should consider to act upon it within 30 days. A presentation given an authority unless the settlement thereof and in no sense be barred to the action thereof of the courts. So if they don't respond, pretty much they don't respond within 30 days, you can proceed and go on with your civil action. Now, as far as who's going to receive this anti-liability notice, it goes: the claim submitted under this code section shall be served upon the mayor or chairperson of the city council or city commission, as the case may be delivered upon a claim of official personally. Such official personally, the meaning by hand, by certified mail or overnight statutory mail. And when doing so, you're going to have to request a return receipt, like certified mail with signature requested, the little green paper that you get back. Also, they have electronic signature. I suggest that you do both, because that little green piece of paper will get missing and they'll try to drag it out and it'll disappear. All right, ask me how I know. I suggest you do both. certified mail and signature, certified mail with a signature requested and electronic signature requested, right? And the courts will acknowledge both of those. Now, this should go to the mayor or the chairperson of that particular city. Now, I respect the city of Lovejoy's mayor, because as soon as they got the anti-lime notice, she responded right back, you know, denied the claim, which doesn't mean that they waive any right to, you know, have it brought into a court or anything like that. So that's why it's at this point right here. You know, we got past all the preliminary stages, but if you don't send that anti-lime notice in, and you know have proof that that was done, it wouldn't have got to this stage right here. So that means somebody was doing something right if they ran to the federal government trying to deduct. And the thing is, when it comes down to this, if you're ever filing a lawsuit on any law enforcement agency, do not do it in federal court, because they have qualified immunity. I'm telling you, don't do it. You can read case, you do the research behind it. I'm telling you, do not do it. Do not do it. Exactly why. This is for state tort claims, right? But this kind of applies across the board, whether it be city, county, or state employees, if they're officers and stuff like that, right? Limited waiver of sovereign immunity. Pretty much it breaks that down right there, when it's waived and stuff like that. Now check this out. The state waives sovereign immunity only to the extent and in a manner provided in this article, only with respects of actions brought in state of Georgia, meaning state courts, This does not waive immunity with respects to actions brought in the United Courts of United States. So that's why they ran to the U.S. district courts, because they know they'll have protection. They can't waive their rights in there. And there's more information down here that breaks it down even more. But like I said, it applies for city, counties, and states. It all applies across the board. So when I say do not file it in federal court, or if they run to federal court, get it remanded back to state court where you can get them. Okay, so getting back to this, right? So with that mayor and chairperson, now with the city of Hampton, let's talk about this mayor, right? And maybe tread carefully with this, right? So I went deeper and looked into their official, this is on their website, this is their ordinances and codes and conduct and all stuff like that. The mayor's duty: the mayor shall be the chief officer and have general superintendence of the affairs of the city, and shall have the duty of, we're just going to scroll on down, you can read the rest of this, cause any officer to be prosecuted for neglect or violation of their duty or immoral conduct. So that's why this lawsuit is being filed in the first place, because of the conduct of two of their officers, right? Probably several at this point, right? And yeah, will not respond at all to nothing. That's why, like, it's just crazy. Okay, so first step, anti-lime notice, right? Depending upon the state, city, county, right? It goes to different people. This is just wild, right? Hopefully this wasn't too complicated at this point, but the situation is so dire. So if you back up and review some of this other content, right? Why would you be making any type of static with any type of law enforcement? I don't want to see none of you or nothing, like, at all. I don't want to be, no, at all, period. I got too much going on, right, with this paperwork, right? And I don't want to say you just have to read. You have to read and follow the steps. And this is the thing. This is the modern time. You got the internet. You got smartphones. Even though people are stupid, I shouldn't even said that, but you know what I'm saying? You got all the access to this information and stuff like that. So it's a whole lot easier. It's not like back in the 70s where you had to go to the library and they got these old funky dusty books that smell like feet. You know what I'm saying? That old book smell, or whatever the case may be. So anyway, moving right along. So after you get to this point and you know, you send an anti-lime notice, I have to keep reiterating that, because if you don't, and you'll read cases, they will shoot it down. Even if you have a merit on your case and you got a strong case, if you don't do that first, they will shoot you down, right? After that, then what they do is if you have a claim, they send this claim or the anti-lime notice off to their insurance company. Their insurance company does an investigation. Then the insurance company will send you back a response saying whether they want to settle, because they know they're hit, or if they're going to deny the claim, right? That doesn't mean you don't have a case. That does not mean you don't have the case, because it's insurance company. Just like if you get into a car wreck or something like that, they're going to be like, they're going to try to say the other person is liable, right? The insurance companies will fight it out to the end, and they'll go as far as sending private investigators to follow you around depending upon the injuries you sustain. So this is the city. Wait, now 2 cities, the county and the state is coming. We're gonna get to that. So they'll send private investigators. They'll follow you around, record you. They will pay whoever. When I mean whoever, to record you and do all type of wild stuff. So all right, let's keep moving forward. Well, anyway, county claims, pretty much this right here, 12 months. You have to do it within 12 months, right? State claims, same thing, 12 months. Let's claim to be 12 months, right? Now the difference with the counties, they all have their different insurance companies, stuff like that. I don't know what jurisdiction you may or may not be in, but with the state, it goes to the risk management department and services, right? Where is it at? Same thing. It'll be personally, right? Personally, or mailed by first class mail, right? Government entity. All right. Each state government entity may be designated office or officer within the state government entity to whom the notice of claim to be delivered or mailed, right? And again, no action against the state under shall be commenced. The courts have no jurisdiction thereof until a written notice of the claim. I'm telling you, they say it all the time. Claim is time presented to the state is proven in subsection, right? And the same thing, after them 30 days, they don't respond back, then you go ahead and go forward with your legal action and stuff like that. And in it, you have to put the name of the entity, time of occurrence of the transaction, the place transaction occurred, the nature of the loss suffered, the amount that you're asking for, and the acts of omission that caused the loss, right? And it goes into more detail and stuff like that. So even if you go over to the Department of Administrative Service website, liability, and this is what they cover: coverage determination, investigation, liability assessment, case assessment and claims evaluation, settlement negotiation, litigation management, timely and effective claims management and resolution, right? It's all on their website, right? So here's the thing. So let's say, right, you send off the anti-liability notice and they deny the claim, right? But you can show that the state, city, or county, whatever it is that you're filing suit on, is liable, or you was prosecuted maliciously, right? A criminal prosecution shall carry out maliciously without probable cause, with causes that to damage to a person shall give them right to action. Shall give him a cause of action, meaning that gives you a right to sue. So if you're prosecuted and they did something messed up in your case and you can show that, then you can file a suit. But like I said, I'm gonna say it 1,000 times, the anti-liability notice is so important. So once you do that, and it goes to the insurance companies, actions against insurance companies, is a thing called actions of bad faith. Those of you who have been in wrecks or probably sued department stores or something like that for slip and falls, this, that, and third, and they did, the insurance company for the person that you're suing says, oh, we're not liable, it's on the the plaintiff, they messed up and blah 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 blah, they pretended or some crap like that, and that private investigators following you around. In the event the loss of an injury, destruction of property is covered by motor vehicle liability. But this, just because it says motor vehicle, this actually applies to all insurance companies, right? Property loss, make reasonable effort to investigate and evaluate the claim where the liability is reasonably clear, to make good faith is the key word in there, good faith effort to settle the claim with the claimant potentially entitled to recover against the insured under such policy, right? Who breaches the liability, I can't even get that right. Any insurer who breaches the duty may be liable to payment to claimant. In addition to the losses, no more than 50% of the liability insured, a loss of $5,000, which is greater, reasonably attorney fees. So pretty much, if you send an anti-liability notice off, right? They send it off to your insurance company. They respond back denying the claim, and then once you get to court and you file your complaint and stuff like that, and you can prove that the claim has merit, or like you have a strong case, then not only will you be suing the individuals that you was going after in the first place, you can sue the insurance company for bad faith as well. So if you're suing the city and you can prove, that you're right, then you get 2 for 1, bro. So after you get past the anti-litem notice portion and it gets sent off to the insurance company and they respond back, either they deny the claim or they accept the claim, and you settle out of court, you won't come to this point. But if they don't, then you're gonna have to serve them with a summons, right? Most of the time, people think you just got to pay somebody or pay the sheriff's department to come serve the summons and stuff like that, and you have to serve it with the complaint. They're going to get a copy of the complaint and with the summons. Once you file your complaint with the courts, the clerk will issue you the summons and stuff like that, right? It depends on the situation. Upon requesting the plaintiff, separate or additional summons shall issue against the defendants, right? Every situation is different. So, and it goes into detail who could serve it: the sheriff, the marshal of sheriff by the court, a deputy, a citizen of the United States appointed by the court for that purpose, any person who is not a party, not younger than 18 years of age, appointed by the court, and a certified processor, right? Now, because we're trying to save as much money as following suit as we can, right? Because we're trying to get rich. We're not, trying to spend a bunch of money to get there, right? So, to avoid costs, and this is very, very effective, to avoid costs, the plaintiff may notify the defendant by commencement of action and request the defendant to waive service of summons, right? The notice, and the notice should be in writing, addressed to the defendant, right? And officer managing the general agent authorized to appoint him to service, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it should be dispatched first class mail by reliable means, accompanied by the copy of the complaint to identify the courts, stuff like that. So pretty much in this, I'll break it short and sweet, right? When you send it off, you send it off with the complaint, the copy of the waiver of jurisdiction, the waiver of venue, and pretty much the waiver of the summons, right? They got 30 days to respond. Where is it at? Here it goes. Allow the defendant a reasonable time to return the waiver, such as 30 days from the date which your request is sent, that's if they're in the United States, or 60 days from the date if the defendant is addressed outside of the District of the United States, right? So after that 30-day time goes by and they don't respond back, they don't send it back to them, then check this out, you can force them, right? If the defendant is located within the United States service inside or outside this code fails to comply with the request for waiver made by the plaintiff located within the United States, the court shall impose a subsequent cost incurred by effective service on the defendants unless for good cause shown. So unless they got an excuse of why they ain't returning that waiver within them 30 days, which most of the time they don't, right? Then they have to pay for it. The cost should be imposed on the defendant under that same section, right, for failure to comply with the request to waive the summons, including costs subsequently incurred, effective service, together with attorney fees and any motion required to collect costs for the services. So pretty much with that, on the summons and serving them, you get a refund. You pay, the sheriff's department or whatever to serve a summons, or a process server, whoever you pay. I recommend it be the sheriff's department, because then they make sure it gets done. That's all official and stuff like that, and it's done with their people, right? And that's gonna be crazy soon. The county, and they ain't even got to go nowhere. They just go. That's not funny. They're gonna be pissed about that. They ain't got to go nowhere. It's right there. You can't say you can't find them. You're in the sheriff's department. It's right there. You're in. I'm sorry. Anyway. So thank you if you made it this far, right? And that was just pretty much laying down the foundation of the legal aspect of doing it, right? Now, a lot of people say, lawsuits against these people take forever and and all this BS. They keep continuing the case and This is because you're relying on this attorney who's a lot of times be in cahoots with them, and it's a money game. They're trying to milk you dry. So for let's just say one lawsuit, $260 at the most, it depends on wherever you're at. At the most, I would say $300 to file. Probably way less than that, depending upon where you're at, right? So boom, case gets filed. Right, now let's go over to this craziness with this town and stuff, right? The case is already beat. I'm talking about less than 60 days, right? Yes, less than 60 days, right? It's just all about getting all the ducks in a row. Initially, we get all the paperwork filed, right? So, with with the city of Hampton, a legal arrest was made, right? Took your boy to jail, right? Didn't release me after 48 hours without issuing a warrant. That kills the whole case. This thing called summary judgment, but we're gonna go on this. So that 48 hours after arrest, right? The arrest of a private person, taking a person before a judicial officer within 48 hours is extremely important. In every case, arrest without a warrant, the person arresting shall without delay convey the offender before the most convenient judicial officer authorized to receive an affidavit and issue a warrant as provided for the code of section 17-40-4 and 44-40. So no such imprisonment shall be legal, right, beyond a reasonable time allowed for this purpose. Any person who is not brought before such a judicial officer after 48 hours of arrest shall be released. They did not do that. And then right here, this is the case law that set precedent from friggin' 1868, right? And imprisonment or detention beyond reasonable time not only renders the imprisonment or detention illegal, but makes the entire transaction, including the arrest, trespass ab initio. And this is Potter versus Swindle, right? Ab initio. Right there, the case is over with. The arrest was illegal anyway. It would have been beat, right? Haven't passed 48 hours. Then continues the case, press forward, even after they violated the rights right there, right? Due process right. Made an individual go through all the proceedings, the court proceedings, right? Actually, not all of them, because they skipped the probable cause hearing. Never had that committal hearing, nothing in the city of Hampton. They're dirty as hell. They just do whatever the fuck they want to, right? They didn't do none of that. So, had a case bound over to state court. Matter of fact, they go to the video in the description box below. It's just way more detail. It's just a short version. I had the case bound over to state court, to Henry County State Court, right? Got there. They had no probable cause hearing. As a matter of fact, the judge that was on the bench was a retired judge initially for the arraignment and stuff like that. I don't even think this man is supposed to be practicing law or anything, bro. Like, I couldn't even find this man nowhere. Like, nowhere. I'm like, bro, he's retired. What is he even doing up there? Right? After that, filed a motion to dismiss. Several of them actually missed that court date. You know what I'm saying? It was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal. Came to court. Didn't try to duck and hide. Wasn't like running, you know what I'm saying? Some tickets. It's all started with some tickets. Some bicycle violations at that. Like the stupidest thing ever. I didn't even know you can get locked up. You can't really get locked up riding a bike. But I didn't even know you get a ticket on a bicycle. I thought, anyway. So, goes to court. Tell the judge, hey, look, man, I missed the last court date. Came to the next one. I just missed it. I really don't have an excuse. I just missed it. Didn't even want to hear nothing. Didn't even get a chance to speak or nothing. Lock him up. Right? Okay. The law states. Watch this now. The law states in the state of Georgia, if you have an FTA and you get arrested for it, the punishment for that is either $200 fine or 2 days in jail. Either or. Not both. Either or, right? Didn't get none of that. Denied it. I didn't even have a bond. On tickets. Not even no felony charges. Not even no misdemeanor. Actually, they turned it. And check this out. Then, it gets better. Then the solicitor for the state, who recently quit after those anti-litem notices started coming in the mail, and it mysteriously disappeared. It got sent to the address, certified mail, all that. Never made it to where it's supposed to be. It made it, but they just didn't have any record of it reaching its location. She quits around that same time, trying to duck and dodge. You know what I'm saying? Right. She upgraded the charge from a ticket to a misdemeanor. You can't do that. If the case didn't originate in state court, it originated in the city of Hampton's court, right? So unless the individual was charged with that there initially, you can't just get and just start doing what you want to do, right? And that's what she did. Just this to violate due process. It's a whole bunch of other crap that happened. It's, it's too technical and stuff like that in the process for all that. Then it gets better. Mind you, no probable cause yet. The probable cause hearing in the state court was held literally a week before trial. And on top of that, took it to trial and beat it. So even though they cheated, violated a whole bunch of rights, because it's not a felony charge and it wasn't indicted by the grand jury, if the defendant at the time, which is not a plaintiff, gets found not guilty or or is acquitted of all the charges, then you could turn back around and sue him regardless, right? But so that's one way, right, from being acquitted of the charges. So the rest, all the time spent in there, everything that happened in between that time, from that time there to the present now, or whenever the case gets settled in court, right, all that, right? Not only that, but from the very beginning, within that first 48 hours from arrest, and it wasn't brought before the judge, everything after that was completely illegal. Ab initio. Every single thing that happened, every court date, the arrest on the FTA, the time spent in the jail, every court hearing, everything was completely illegal. Completely. All the way up until they finally released, bro. So now, to the lawsuit, right? Who's liable? Now, who's liable for all this? You have the city of Hampton from the initial officers who made the arrest, right? You have the city of Hampton's solicitor's office, which is really just the solicitor, right? Because they violated Rule 3.8. You're not supposed to prosecute a case that's not supported by probable cause. They pushed the case anyway because they wasn't trying to get sued. They were trying to get a person to cop out to a plea and get on probation for some tickets on a bicycle so they could just handle a person, try to lock somebody up or whatever. So, right? So solicitor's office or solicitor, then also the judge too, because the judge is actually the duty of the judge. Rule 20.1 and 2, at their discretion, they say, for them to have a committal hearing. Well, most of the time, most judges do. You have a probable cause or a committal hearing, to establish to see if the case should be able to go further, and that's their job. Let me tell you something. A judge is nothing but a referee. Let's clear that up right now. That's what they do. They're supposed to make sure that both sides play fair in the courtroom. It's not really a game, but that's pretty much what it is, right? So boom. Now we got them, right? It's pretty much the city of Hampton. They're hit. And then the thing is, if they're employed, it's all under the city's umbrella. They're responsible for it. And the mayor of that city is responsible for all the conduct of all her employees and subordinates, right? So boom, moving right along. Case gets bound over to state court. Oh, before that, the jail. From the city, goes to the jail. The jail for holding a person past 48 hours violated due process rights. False imprisonment, right? False arrest is on the county. On the city. False imprisonment. Every day the individual spent in that jail, every day, months, that shit add up, right? Not to mention the things that took place within that jail was completely insane and unheard of. And I'm not proud of it, but and this. So then now the state court did a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the state court, the solicitor's office, the state itself, because they're responsible for their employees and all the conduct, right? And their insurance companies, because they denied the claim. So if you send anti notice off to them, they send it to the insurance company, and then they deny the claim, and then you could take it to court and show that you're right, you get to sue the city, the county, and the state, and their insurance company. That's 6 different entities, right? And under the Georgia State Tort Claims Act, there is no cap on the amount that you can request, as long as within reason. If you can show like, hey, look, this is what I'm entitled to based off this fact. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to take a long time, you got to go to trial, No, this thing called summary judgment. Let's go ahead and jump off into that.
Just seen enough to make a judgment. Same goes for court. A summary judgment is when a civil court rules in favor of one party over the other without a full trial. Now, this may sound like it's all willy-nilly, that maybe the court has a long weekend in mind. But a summary judgment is sought out by one of the parties. When a party files a motion for summary judgment, they are then referred to as the moving party. There are a few reasons a summary judgment may be issued by a court, besides the moving party just, well, wanting them to. There are two main requirements. First, the parties to the lawsuit have to agree on the material facts, the facts that are important to the legal decision. Second, the law must say these undisputed facts entitle the moving party to a judgment. Party, substantial evidence must be given to back up your argument, just as it would in a trial. There are many ways to bring evidence, but the key is that it must be admissible. That means the judge can only look at what is allowed by the evidence code.
So pretty much with the summary judgment, if you can show, as a matter of law, that you're entitled to judgment for this illegal arrest, and the fact that you went to trial and beat it, and was found not guilty and acquitted of all charges, that's two substantial, solid grounds and evidence of foundation right there to not even have a trial. All it is serving them with a complaint and the summons, and wait 30 days for them to respond to pretty much settle it. And actually, from doing research, you can actually request a summary judgment along with the complaint. When you file a complaint, like, hey, look, we don't even want trial, just summary judgment, bro. This is the law right here. They got 30 days, and all they have to do is, like, they can't dispute it. This is undisputable. That's why the city of Lovejoy ran to the feds, because they wanted their sovereign immunity. That shit's coming right back down to the state court, but you ain't ducking this one. You know what I'm saying? Only way they can do it is trying to get this nigga set up. That's it. This is inevitable, bro. All it is pushing the paperwork. They playing with the mail and everything, bro. Now, and this makes clarifies it even more now, right? We got this going on, right? Millions of dollars over here, right? Going on in the court system, right? Oh, undercover granny over here calling police every 5 minutes, bro. Just trying to get, cause you don't have nothing trying to do. We gotta get this nigga out the way. We gotta get him gone. We gotta get him on something. And what's the worst thing? See, and then the thing is, you get locked up for something like that, ain't nobody can help you. Then when you get in the jail, bro, it's fighting at the door. As soon as you walk in the door, I ain't gonna play the radio, cause especially I ain't did no shit like that. But matter of fact, I'm gonna check this out. Watch this shit right here. Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. When you needed groceries last time, where was she at?
When I needed...
When I first got out of jail, where was she at?
We weren't about where she was.
Because she couldn't come over here to come bring you no groceries, but you can call her to complain about me.
Gary, I want evidence. That's what I want.
What evidence? Evidence of what?
That you're tormenting me.
How am I tormenting you? When I'm
yes,
trying
you do.
I'm trying to get you groceries. I'm trying to get you groceries.
No, you're not.
What the? I'm asking you. Okay. First of all, you got to get into your account in order to get a debit card to get groceries, right?
You know too much. You know too much, and this is why you're doing all these things.
I'm asking you. You need groceries, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And as soon as I get groceries put in there, regardless of a day or two, you take and throw them out.
Okay. Because you let the stuff get spoiled.
Gary,
how am I tormenting you if I'm trying to get you groceries?
It never killed me all these years. Why is it going to kill me now?
That's disgusting.
Gary.
You eating spoiled food. You can't do that.
Gary. Why are you worrying about that? You never used to worry about.
Because guess what? If something happens to you, I'm gonna get blamed for it.
Why you think so?
Oh my God.
Why you think so? When I don't tell everybody that you're
I'm a what?
Tormentor.
I'm tormenting. How am I tormenting? Tell me how I'm tormenting.
Look what you're doing right now.
I'm asking you.
You're following me from inside.
Because I'm telling the truth and you're running from me.
Listen to me. I mean it.
What?
Leave.
I'm telling the truth.
Leave.
And you're running from me.
No.
You didn't sat there with the whole town. And I'm gonna tell you this. You know I got a multi-million-dollar lawsuit on these people. You know that, right?
You have a multi-million-dollar
lawsuit on the city.
On the city.
Mm-hmm. For me going to jail. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You can buy the city out now because you have money and you from the city that you went through the city. So you can go buy this whole state. The whole state now. And you know what? I'm glad that you pursue it, that you can get. And
you know what's so funny? Whenever you got attacked by the dogs, I had a lawsuit on the net, and when I asked you to pursue it, you was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I wonder why about that.
Hold on right there. With the dog biting me up and things, and I nearly died. You see, I didn't die.
Yeah, but you wasn't worried about pursuing a lawsuit, which you did have. Actually, still do have. And when I told you about it, you was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. That doesn't sound right. Because you already had other intentions in mind. You already made other agreements with the devil.
Who is the devil? Who's the devil?
You know exactly who you made an agreement with. And then mommy already done told on you. And some of my friends had already told on you.
I don't care who. I don't care who tell on you, because they tell on Christ. They tell the world about Jesus Christ that he's a bad person. So why you think I would making that bother me now? You know what, Gary? When you first came, you were such a beautiful.
Because I didn't know how much of a snake you was.
No, but hold on. You can always kill a snake. You can,
oh my God.
No. You can chase him out. You can kill it or whatever it is. But you don't do that. You just torment me constantly.
I'm asking you questions and you don't want to answer the questions.
But why you keep questioning me
because
for?
You're lying about so much stuff.
Gary,
I can't trust you.
Gary.
And the thing is, you need groceries, right? Let's keep it simple. You need groceries. Do you not need groceries? Do you not need groceries?
Why do I need groceries? And every time
I'm asking you a simple question.
You chew it out.
Because if it gets old, you can't eat it.
Gary.
I'm asking you a simple question. Don't keep answer the question. Do you need groceries?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Go buy the grocery now then.
You don't have your debit card.
So you want my debit card to go buy your groceries?
Oh my God, woman. Do you need groceries?
No.
Now you're saying no. You don't need no groceries.
You know why? I have all my sisters and brothers can call to tell them to bring grocery to me.
From Florida. From Florida.
So?
They're gonna come from. That's what I'm saying. You just be saying anything.
I don't care what you would say. You're saying. I don't care what you're saying, because you have no God in you. I
don't have no God in me.
You can do anything you want.
Hey, listen. If I didn't have no God in me, trust me, I would have reacted a whole lot differently. I'm so patient and so calm right now. I think God's the only thing that's stopping me from doing a lot of stuff. So anyway, with that said, so you don't need no groceries.
Why since I'm telling you yes?
Do you need groceries? Do you need groceries?
No, because you know what?
Don't worry about it. I ain't gonna mess with you no more. I ain't gonna say nothing else to you. Now, does that make more sense? Right? And the fact that I'm 1,000% right, they hate that shit. They hate it, and so many people. It's gonna be a domino effect, and people are gonna start telling each other.
Kid, I want you to spill your guts. Tell us everything. Everything. Okay, I'll talk.
And I've ran this shit through my mind.
And you've gone over something again and again and again and again. Like I have. Certain questions get answered, others spring up. The mind plays tricks on you. You play tricks back. It's like you're unraveling a big cable knit sweater that someone keeps knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting.
And then, it's not too late for her. It's not too late for a lot of people involved. You know what I'm saying? This is all they gotta do. All they gotta do is tell. Right? All they gotta do is tell. Go live. Go on one of these apps and go live. And just tell them what they made you do. Or post it somewhere. Hey, look, this is what's going on, this, that, and third. These people, these corrupt police came to me and they forced me to turn against, this individual to do this, that, and the third. Right? And I'm pretty sure a prosecutor would probably have leniency. Probably won't just let you get away with, anything, but will probably have leniency on you because they're going to be too busy pursuing these dirty cops. That's more of a serious crime because they swore an oath to uphold the law. Straight up. And there's a lot of things that these people have done that, I can't go to nobody, bro. I mean, I went to every law enforcement, I can't go to the people that's doing it, to the internal affairs. You know what I'm saying? Went to the GBI, hit them up. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up on the website yourself. You can't even start an investigation on a police department. It has to be somebody internal, another police officer. You think and then they be buddy. They all work together. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to tell them their homeboy. They be having cookouts and shit like that. Went to school with each other in the academy and all this crap. And you gotta look at the totality of it, right? So altogether, let's sum all this shit up, right? That's a lot of fucking money. People will do crazy shit for way less, right? And this is the thing that these attorneys be keeping from you. And let me tell you something else too. When it comes down to trial, right? And I've done this before. Clearly, when you represent yourself at trial, you have a great advantage because you don't have to take the stand. See, when you have a criminal history, or even in a civil situation, but I'm gonna say the criminal history part, the criminal part, and you go to trial. The first thing a prosecution does, if you have an attorney you represented, and take the stand to say your side, they go right and dig into your past, and they make it seem like it happened yesterday to the jury. The jury doesn't know any better. The jury doesn't know you, and this and third. And when you're on the stand, you're already nervous, you know what I mean, and scared and stuff like that. And your facial expressions, your reactions, your stuttering with the questions and stuff like that, that all makes you look bad. And they practice this using the Socratic method, and they do it in mock courts. Like, they go to school for this. They practice having trials, mock trials and stuff like this all the time. You know what I mean? And especially them doing it in real life, like, it's crazy. And you as an individual, you don't know all this. You don't have no practice and stuff like that. So it's really, really hard to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Evaluate and navigate a situation like that, and articulate yourself to the jury in that type of situation, given the circumstances of whatever charges you're facing. So that's a lot of weight to have on you. Now, when it comes down to your attorney, especially if they're a public defender, they're getting paid by the state, county, city, whatever case may be, they're going to be loyal to who's paying them. And they get paid either way. Whether you win or lose, they get paid. And you still got to go to jail and face the consequences of whatever happens, whether they release you and you go free to go, or put on probation, or you do jail time, right? In the civil aspect, the same thing applies. You can't and don't have to take the stand, because you can't cross-examine yourself when it comes down to it, when it comes to the questioning part, and that's a constitutional right. You don't have to give self-incriminating evidence. You don't have to. You know what I mean? You have a right to remain silent in any circumstance. I don't care what it is. Trust me. Ask me how I know. If you are, I'm telling you, bro, I'm not just talking out the side of my neck, bro. These are things I know for a fact, and I'm showing you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing. All this stuff weighs on my mind heavy. You know what I mean? The fact that, people can be bought. If the roles are reversed, and somebody I care about, I'm just gonna say that, somebody I care about, I say that I love, was put in a situation where law enforcement came to me, or anybody came to me and offered me money to, set them up or go against them or something like that, I wouldn't do it. I don't care how much it is. I don't care if it's life changing or nothing. That love that I have for you is priceless. That friendship that we have is priceless. There's nothing. And the thing is, even with that money is gonna be gone. All right. But that friendship or that love or whatever, that's gonna be forever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me personally. There's a lot of people out here in the world that think otherwise. Shit, run that check. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get old and on your deathbed, you're gonna look back at that shit and say, damn, it's fucked up. I had a good friend. You know what I'm saying? Or, that was a good woman or a good man, you know what I'm saying? Or, and you did them dirty. Did them dirty or for money. And I've actually sat back and witnessed it, being, incarcerated and going through the system. I've seen people turn each other, like sandbox friends and stuff like that, family members. And once that money gets involved, and when these authorities come to them, especially if you don't have no knowledge of the law, you don't understand it. And fortunately, unfortunately, but fortunately, through my past experience and stuff like that, I learned a whole lot. And I learned to fight them like this, getting belligerent and acting based off your emotions in the street and shit like that ain't gonna do nothing but get you locked up or dead. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll win. Nah, buddy. No, and I'm gonna beat you at your own game. And even though you're cheating and you have all upper hands, the education, the unlimited resources, the funds, the access to all type of information, you know what I mean? Just crazy. But at the end of the day, I know that I put up a hell of a fight, and I think that comes also along with me being a small stature person, because all my life I had to fight.
All my life I had to fight.
Oprah. All my life, you know what I'm saying? All my life. And a lot of those battles I had to fight on my own, and I just had to learn. And all battles aren't fought. The old saying goes, the pen is much mightier than the sword. And with that, thank you for watching, and hopefully I catch you on the next one. Peace.
Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines one too many times. Wicked games we play make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less, cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our day to ball, this is a layup. Nobody ever said this would be easy, but trust when I say that you got it. I know you've been looking for a breakthrough, trying our best to make do. Every day is something new, but change gon' come, oh yes it's true. Brighter days are straight ahead. Follow me, won't be misled. Just look up, don't hang your head, and we'll get to the promised land. Somebody loves you, please don't forget such. Take your time, no need to feel rushed. We gon' shine somehow one day. Word to O'Shea, today's been a good day. Don't let one bad apple spoil the tree. The fruits of our labor seem ripe, can't you see? A little insight so they'll never dim your light. Been wrong for too long, this here feels so right. Leave your fears in the rear view, right now on the mission. Tryna stay the course on this road to redemption. Giving up seems tempting, but no need, cause I got you and you got me. A little UNITY will get us by. Through the storm and the rain, I'll be by your side. Look alive, the best has yet to come. Just some words of wisdom, plenty more. I know you've been looking for a breakthrough, trying our best to make do. Every day is something new, but change gon' come, oh yes it's true. Brighter days are straight ahead. Follow me, won't be misled. Just look up, don't hang your head, and we'll get to the promise, yeah. And it may seem like things ain't working out, but I know we gon' find a way without a doubt. Just hold on a little longer, you gon' see this through. I've been there, certain things always remain.